Anybody need water? Water, anyone?
Good afternoon. Buenas tardes. Can y'all hear me okay? Great. Thank you for being here. I'm Representative Lulu Flores, and I have the honor of representing the community of East, South Central, and Southeast Austin at the Capitol in the Texas House. To the students who organized this march, who walked out, who spoke up. Hold on, let me take my sunglasses off because that is not helping. My glasses will help. Sorry about it. To you all, the students, and one right next to me, and everybody out here who organized the march, who walked out, who spoke up, who refused to stay silent, I'm so proud of you. You are showing this entire state that what courage looks like. So thank you. On President's Day, we usually talk about the past, but today, standing here with you, we are talking about the future, your future, and the future of the state of Texas. You are here not because this is an online trend. You are here because the people you love are scared, because your classmates are worried about their parents, because families in our communities are being treated like they do not belong. And you are making it known to every level of power that this is not the Texas we believe in, that your classmates and their families are not targets. They are our community. Workers are afraid to report wage theft or dangerous work conditions. Children, your classmates, stay awake at night, wondering if their mom or dad will be there when they get home from school tomorrow. And far too often it's people being stopped, questioned, and detained not for what they did, but because of how they look or the way they speak. This is not public safety. This is public profiling. This is fear masked as policy, and it is wrong. You all are here at the Capitol today because you are witness to the harm in our communities, and you are protesting brutality and inhumanity in immigration enforcement that seizes first and asks questions later. You are protesting tactics that treat human beings like targets. You are protesting a system where people with legal status, even U.S. citizens, are caught up in raids and are shot dead in our streets in broad daylight. This is not justice. This is not who we're supposed to be. And what has the response been to your outcries of injustice by our state leadership? Threats, investigations, attempts to punish schools, attempts to scare teachers, and attempts to silence you. Right. But let me tell you something. When the state tries to intimidate people, intimidate the young people for speaking out against cruelty, it is an indictment on our state and not an indictment of you. Inside the Texas Capitol, I see policies that fuel this intimidation. Bills that force local police to collaborate with federal immigration enforcement. Bills that punish cities for trying to protect their residents. And bills that turn neighbors into suspects. Session after session, the bills get harsher. And yes, most times we are outnumbered, but we fight them and we challenge them and we force them into the light so Texas can see exactly what they do to our communities. And when you stand here together, you make that fight stronger because you are putting a human face to the harm that these tactics cause. So do not let anyone tell you that you are powerless. Do not let anyone tell you that your voice does not matter. Do not let anyone convince you that cruelty is the same thing as strength. Real strength is what I see here. Students standing together, protecting each other, and demanding that our state lives up to the values, to our values. History is on the side of people who stand up for human dignity. And you are not alone. There are legislators in this building who are fighting for you. There are teachers, parents, and community members who are standing with you. And there are millions of Texans who believe that families belong together and that every child deserves to feel safe. So keep speaking out and keep protecting one another through peaceful and nonviolent means. Because when students stand up against injustice, against brutality, against profiling, against families being torn apart, this is not disruption of democracy. This is democracy in action. We're not going to accept a Texas where people are judged by their skin color, their accent, or their last name. We're not going to accept a Texas where children live in fear of losing their parents. And we are not going to stop fighting inside the Capitol or out here in the streets. And we are not going to stop fighting until our communities are treated with dignity. What do we say? Not on our watch. Not on our watch. We will keep fighting. You are all profiles in courage. So thank you for being here, standing up, speaking up, and staying strong for your community. Thank you, everybody, and muchas gracias. Keep up the good
hardship apart.
I love you, Arshia!
Legalize ranked choice voting.
Thank you all for being out here. So, howdy y'all. As the beautiful, amazing introducers said, I'm the co-chair of the Green Party of the U.S. and also your candidate for Texas State Representative here in HD 49. There are moments in history when silence becomes surrender, when institutions that claim to defend freedom begin to erode it. And this is such a moment. ICE was created in a climate of fear and extended under both Republican and Democratic administrations. Families have been torn apart under these actions. Children have been detained. Asylum seekers have been criminalized. This is not the agenda of one politician. It is the policy of a system that is sustained by a political duopoly that protects power before people.
That's right.
Republicans escalate this cruelty openly, while unfortunately we've seen democratic institutions also manage it quietly. These deportations continue, and these detention centers remain funded. The surveillance state grows. The machine continues running because both parties and our system continue to feed it. Authoritarianism does not arrive overnight. It grows when fear is normalized, and when entire communities are told they are disposable. From the internment of Japanese Americans to the expansion of mass surveillance after 9/11, history shows us how easily injustice is justified in the name of security. The same political class that cages migrants at the border funds endless wars abroad. The same corporations that profit from detention centers profit from weapons contracts. These struggles are connected. They are rooted in a system that treats human beings as collateral. That is why student walkouts against ICE matter. When young people leave their classrooms to say that injustice will not be normalized, they are participating in a long tradition of moral courage, standing up for their peers in the face of injustice. Students help end segregation. Students challenge the Vietnam War. Students have always been at the forefront of democratic transformation. To every student walking out, organizing, risking criticism, and refusing to be silent, know this: you are not reckless, you are being responsible. You are defending the principle that liberty and justice ought to be for all. Justice is neither red nor blue. Freedom is not partisan. It belongs to us all, and it ought to belong to us all, or it is hollow. The question before us is whether we will continue funding a system that criminalizes hope, or whether we will build a democracy worthy of its name. History is not made on its own. It is made when people refuse to comply with injustice, and this moment calls for a refusal. Thank you.
Next up, we have Ayan Molina.
All right, well, thank you all for being here and thank you for having me. My name is Ayan Molina. I am a high school student here in Austin. I know right now that it is hard to have hope. It is hard to wake up every day and do this work and show up and think that things will change, because it just seems like things are getting worse and worse. ICE is pulling out of Minnesota big time, but they have just bought 6 new facilities in Texas, all across the state. They are purchasing large human warehouses that they will use as internment camps. I was talking to someone yesterday, and I think we should consider this the civil rights movement of our generation. in 30, 40, 50 years, all of us will look back on this time. It will be written in textbooks, and all of us will know that we showed up and did everything we could to make things better. So we have to keep that going, because think about it, your kids, your grandkids, what are you going to tell them? You have to tell them that you were out there fighting the good fight, even when it's not easy. Things have never been easy. The right things have never been easy. This is hard. This is hard work. This is grueling. My colleagues and I went to Dilley, Texas a few weeks ago, and on the way, we had to stop multiple times because we could just not handle the thought of where we were going. And as we entered the city limits, you could feel what was going on there. You could feel the cruelty in the air. And on the way there, we were nonstop on the phone with members of Congress trying to make sure that children in our Austin area were able to meet with the members of Congress who were there. They were supposed to be able to, but of course, ICE told them that they would not be able to. But we worked hard, and we spoke, and we spoke, and we advocated, and 2 families got released from our community. And we went in front of the Dilley Detention Center, and we went and spoke with some of the ICE agents, and I asked them, I said, you have kids in cages who are throwing up, who are sick, who are crying, who are not being fed. Where is your humanity? And they laughed at me. They laughed at me. This is the level of evil that we are dealing with. And a couple days ago, some of the student organizers back here organized a protest outside the Pflugerville ICE facility. And yes, we have one in Pflugerville, and it's designed to be a processing center where folks are held for no more than 48 hours. But of course, there are reports of people being held there for up to a month. And we went there, and it is despicable. You can feel it in the air. You can feel that people are suffering on the inside. So this is happening in our own communities, and we have to keep doing it. But at Pflugerville, when the ICE agents were in front of me, I did not feel like screaming. I did not feel like calling them Nazis. I did not feel like cursing them out. I just felt sorrow. I felt numb. I felt utter sadness. And so I think the way forward is to move with our words and our peaceful actions, because it is hard, as I mentioned, but this is sort of a cliche now, but I still say it all the time. When they go low, we go high. All of you have heard that, and it's true as ever now. Because if we stoop to their level, we're just as bad as them. And we cannot let that happen. They can spray us with tear gas and pepper spray as they did in Dilley, and we will stay peaceful, and we will stand up for our families and our communities, no matter what. The last thing I'll say is that a couple weeks ago, I got to spend several days with the amazing civil rights and workers' rights leader, Dolores Huerta. And she's 95 years old, 95 years young, I should say, and doing incredible things. And I'm gonna do a chant that she leads every time she speaks in front of a crowd. I'm gonna say, who's got the power? You're gonna say, we got the power. I'm gonna say, what kind of power? And you're gonna say, people power. Got it? Yeah? All right. Who's got the power? We got the power. What kind of power? People power. Who's got the power? We got the power. What kind of power? People power. Who's got the power? We got the power. What kind of power? People power. Thank you.
go out into the community and we bring Know Your Rights cards, and we've been going out and supporting you guys, the students who are doing the protests. And I did a video of some students protesting out in Elgin. And I got hundreds of comments on this video. And I want to read you some of the comments. And I'm going to start with the negative ones because I want you to hear what the people are saying about you, and you can feel free to boo loudly. Daniel says, oh yeah, how many would be out there on a Saturday or a holiday?
We're right here.
Troy says, great, our future, spelled A-R-E, would rather fight for something most of them have no say and can't vote for. Ron says, how about teaching these kids a little reading, writing, and arithmetic as opposed to how to hate your country? Jim says, not even American. Diane says, if you believe the majority of students walking out can even articulate their reasons beyond saying pluck eyes or ice out, you are delusional. Most of these kids are just walking out to get out of class. These kids will not be saving democracy because most of them won't even bother registering to vote when they turn 18. Christina says, the future McDonald's worker, future Taco Bell workers, fast food, here they come. Slandman says, just more minion foe outrage ginned up and funded by anti-American leftist billionaires. Okay, I'm over it. I'm not reading anymore. Screw those guys. But let that sit in. These are not strangers from another country. These are adults who live here, who vote, who sit on our school boards, and who make decisions about your future. But not everybody sees you that way. Letty says, Abbott is scared because many of these kids are eligible to vote. He's scared because they aren't the selfish and apathetic generation he thought them to be. He's scared because they are fearless and they have the energy of youth to set this state right. So proud of these kiddos. Rebecca says, as a mama, I'm equally proud. I'm not quite sure I would have had the strength that these kids are showing. It's so easy for the world to dismiss their views, emotions, and actions because they are young. But one day, these kids will be the generation voting for change. So we mothers need to continue to protect them when they protest, even if they're being threatened, fighting for their right to fight. Enrique says, Greg Abbott partnered with Turning Point USA to bring their chapters to high schools, but these kids don't want that bullshit. Doug says, me fired up about our future. The generation before them was pretty apathetic, and my generation really had no real problems. Maybe there is a silver lining amongst all of this idiot chaos we are being forced to suffer through. Maybe we are awakening a giant, and we will be a better America in the future. Jorge says, our young men and women are the most intelligent, influential, and promising generation that is emerging. Raised in an era when their families are victim to being violently kidnapped, killed, and forced into predatory concentration camps. Don't expect them to take it sitting in a classroom. There are adults who are terrified by your voices, and there are adults who are inspired by them. The difference between these two groups, one sees young people as a threat, the other sees young people as the future. Here's the truth. It's not that they think that you're ignorant, it's that they're afraid that you aren't.
Let's hear it for Neto Longoria!
I'm going to go down here. Cool. ¿Me escuchan? ¿Me escuchan? Okay, es todo. Thank you for coming. Buenas tardes. Today on President's Day, high school students across Texas are doing what too many people in power refuse to do, publicly y sin miedo. I want to start by saying that I'm very proud of each and every one of you for coming. Proud that you're here, proud that you're speaking out, proud that you're practicing your First Amendment right to free speech. Donald Trump verdaderamente es un racista. Donald Trump no tiene valores ni respeto. Donald Trump es un sinvergüenza, literal. Today, you are standing in solidarity with your neighbors, your classmates, and your families. We are here today because state-sanctioned violence is being carried out in our name and with our tax dollars. We are here today because people have died during ICE operations. We are here to honor Renee Good and Alex Preddy. Lives lost where there should have been care, restraint, and due process. These deaths, they're not accidents. They are the predictable result of policies and harmful rhetoric that dehumanize and treat people like animals. ICE agents, often masked and unidentifiable, are violating the Constitution they swear an oath to protect. No transparency, no accountability, no due process. They have targeted schools, churches, and work sites. ICE va a las escuelas, las iglesias, y los lugares de trabajo. Places that are meant to be safe have been turned into places of fear. The children, they carry that fear into the classrooms. Family carry that trauma for years, and parents live with the constant threat of deportation. Esto es violencia del Estado. Esto es trauma colectivo que está pasando aquí en Texas. And we have to name the hypocrisy that brought us here today. Immigrants are being criminalized, detained, and deported, while the man who fueled this system is himself a convicted felon facing no real accountability or consequences. Immigrants work, they raise families, they pay taxes, they contribute to our communities. Ellos trabajan, forman familias, pagan impuestos. Meanwhile, Donald Trump paid hush money to silence Stormy Daniels, has long documented associations with Jeffrey Epstein, and has famously avoided paying taxes for years. Yet immigrants, hardworking, people-oriented, family-oriented people are treated as criminals. That is not law and order. Justicia para todos. And here in Texas, Governor Greg Abbott has chosen to escalate the harm, threatening teachers, intimidating school districts, and attempting to turn schools into enforcement zones. Educators should not be punished for protecting students. No deben de estar vigilando las escuelas. When county sheriffs and police departments cooperate with these actions, they are not neutral. Silence and compliance makes them complicit. What you are doing here today matters. You're part of a historic moment. Across this country, there are more protests, more organizing, more civic engagement than we have seen in decades. Elders and previous generations recognize the moment. They see you. We see you. We are so proud of you. Leadership today is not one person or one moment. Leadership is persistence. Leadership is nonviolence. Leadership is organizing, voting, thinking critically, and refusing to be silent. Civil disobedience is not chaos. This is where we draw the line. So here's an invitation to write, to speak, to create, make art, make music, tell your stories, and check in on each other. Movements survive because we stay connected and refuse isolation. And to all the young people here today, you are not too young to lead. You're not too young to testify, advocate, organize, or run for office. Democracy depends on participation, and it depends on you. Esta lucha es constante, pero también es nuestro poder. So connect, support one each other, continue, be brave, be courageous, lift each other up. each one of you matters, each one of you has power, each one of you can make a difference. So thank you for being here, thank you for speaking out, and chinga la mira.
La señora Alicia Perez from Lulu.
I'm so proud to see so many people out here today. It is important. I'm a little older than you, and I haven't seen this much motion, this much action since the Vietnam War. And I'm glad to see it because we are at war. We are at war with the fascists. We are at war with the people that don't want you to march, that want to punish you for being out here. And there are people we're going to call them out. It's Greg Abbott, it's Dan Patrick, and it's Crooked Ken Paxton. These are the people that only want you out and speaking when you're on their side. But that's not what the United States of America is like. That is not what we do here. The immigration roundup, the massive immigration roundup is no longer about illegal immigration. It is about ethnic cleansing. That's what it's about. They're doing the same thing that they condemn other governments for doing. When we grew up, I knew nothing about Mexican American history because it wasn't taught. I was taught that Robert E. Lee, a traitor to the United States of America, was some great hero. That's what they were teaching us. It's not about our culture and our history. Today, the University of Texas, under pressure from Greg Abbott and Dan Patrick and Ken Paxton, want to do away with Mexican American studies. They want to do away with it because they want to keep us all ignorant. That way they can control us. But you know, hell no, we won't keep it. Hell no, you're going to get an education.
Hell no.
That's right. Hell no. Hell no. That's right. We are here because of the injustice that each of you see and that I see with my own eyes. Beating up women, taking children from their homes, having them stand there in the cold so they can catch their dad, having quotas. There is a man named Steve Miller in the White House. He is evil. He is a reincarnation of Goebbels during the Nazis. And that's exactly what they're trying to impose on us, is that oppression. You do what I say, or we're putting you in a concentration camp, or we're putting you in jail, or we're going to make life hard for you. But no, they can't get away with it here because there are people like you and us that will say no, that will stand up and say, I prefer to die on my feet than to live on my knees. Because freedom and liberty is important. And it was African Americans, and it was Mexican Americans, and it was Irish Americans, and it was Polish Americans that died on the fields overseas for our liberties. All of us, all of us. You came to the United States. If you're not indigenous American, then you came to the United States and you have profited from the dream that was put forward in the Constitution. And that's what we base our trust in the Constitution. And all those people like Pam Bondi and Steve Miller and need to remember that their oath is not to Donald Trump. It is to the Constitution, and they serve us, not Donald Trump. We are seeing corruption in our federal government beyond anything we have ever seen in my life. And I was born when Eisenhower was president. And I've never seen such corruption, where a president tells people he's going to make money, where he tells people he's going to do something corrupt and has no shame at all about it. I've never in my life have I seen it. I'm so sorry for you young people that have grown up during this time. I grew up during the time of John Fitzgerald Kennedy and Lyndon Baines Johnson. I am part of Lyndon's Great Society because I had opportunities to get an education, because I came out of poverty but had an opportunity to work and make my own money and make my own way and make my own future. And you should have that opportunity also. One of the most important things, and even if you are not of age to vote, please get your parents to vote, get your cousins to vote, get your tias to vote, get your grandmothers to the booth. It is the last sword that we have in this fight, and it is the most important thing for us. And it's the most important thing for them, because all they're worried about is keeping their job, keeping their chauffeur, keeping their prestige, keeping their titles. That's what they're worried about. They're worried about self-preservation, not about the people.
Arrest them!
That's right, and we don't want that anymore. No, I want to turn, the governor lives right over there, and it would turn over there, and every time I say Greg Abbott, say, we won't go. Greg Abbott!
We want you, Greg Abbott!
Greg Abbott!
We want go!
Greg Abbott!
We want go!
Not now or ever. He will not stop democracy. Trump will not stop democracy.
won't go.
And you are proof of that. So I'm very, very proud to be here with you and to share with you this time when we stand up for liberty, when we stand up for freedom, when we stand up for our democracy. Viva America!
Remember the Alamo?
¿Ya te vas también? Okay. Okay, class.
Okay, next we have Charlotte Garcia. She's a student from ACC.
First and foremost, let's make some noise for Hands Off Central Texas, CXU, UJM, and No King Street for helping us be here today. My name is Charlotte Garcia. I'm a 17-year-old student at ACC. We are here today to stand up for equality for everybody, regardless of papers, documented or not. Now, we've seen people's comments online saying that we don't even know what we're protesting for, and we just want to walk out of school. But we are here to tell you that we know. We know that civil rights are for everybody, regardless of religion, race, age, or sexuality. We know that people are getting kidnapped and murdered by our own government. We know because we saw the video. We believe our eyes and not their lies. These horrific and cruel acts are not only an attack on immigrants, they're an attack on everyone who calls himself American. We will not be silenced. We will speak up for those who cannot. We will not give up. We will persevere. And we will not give in until we see liberty and justice for all. And when I say all, I mean everybody. But united here we stand to not only make a change, but to be the change. Now we are here to be peaceful. We will not stoop down to their level. We will not resort